Uruguay has a uniquely profound emotional connection to football. While children in many countries grow up with fairy tales and legends, Uruguayans grow up with stories of epic footballing feats. Stories passed down for more than a century that have changed the national psyche and created one of the rarest phenomena in world sports. It began with a sporting miracle. In 1924, a small nation of just 1.6 million became football's first world champions, then won it again in 1928. 6 years later, they hosted and won the very first World Cup. And in 1950 came the Maracanazo, defeating Brazil before more than 200,000 stunned fans in one of the greatest feats in sports history. For such a small country, these victories weren't just triumphs on the field, they fused football with national identity. It's why you'll never hear something like this there.
Germany are a nation of 83 million people. We're a nation of 5.2 million.
Generation after generation, Uruguayans learned that an almost spiritual level of devotion and effort is needed to transcend the odds. That devotion still defines the country. Nationwide, volunteers run one of the world's most extensive non-profit youth football networks, a rarity in today's commercialized game. It's why pointing to your own name after scoring is frowned upon there. Instead, players shout Uruguay nomás, a defiant cry that this small nation still stands tall amongst football's giants, even a century later. Across the decades, players have embodied that mythology. Juan Jober collapsing from heart failure after equalizing against Hungary in 1954 and finishing extra time. Eliseo Alvarez, who played the entire second half on a broken leg in 1962. Luis Suarez prematurely returning from knee surgery in 2014. Kinesiologist Walter Ferreira pausing his own cancer treatment to help him recover. Alvaro Pereira refusing to leave the pitch after a concussion. Acts that outsiders call madness.
It's tough Uruguayan center back. Those guys are always kind of crazy.
Uruguayans see as devotion to a legacy that is uniquely theirs. That's the garra charrua, a fighting spirit that is revered across the Americas and the footballing world, the heartbeat of Uruguayan football.
Recognized and respected around the world for their mental resolve and for their heart and what goes into their shirt. That's the famous part of the Celeste.
The Celeste jersey is treated with so much reverence that it must never touch the ground.
Y la dejo en el piso sin darme cuenta. Y viene Darío Rodríguez, me toca la espalda y me dice, vos gurí, mira que dejé la celeste, dice, no, en el piso no puede estar.
Each generation adds its own chapter to this living myth. 4 FIFA World titles, 15 Copa Americas, 5 World Cup semifinals, and 2 clubs, Nacional and Peñarol, with 6 world crowns between them. Today, that mythology reaches beyond Uruguay's borders as more and more second and third generation players born abroad choose to represent Uruguay instead of their native countries. When asked why, they specifically speak of the mythology, that sacred story of belief, sacrifice, and the garra charrua that inspired them to defend a century-old legacy, a sporting miracle that a small nation refuses to let fade.
They are one of the finest football nations in history.